This is a short one like me. Dudes with Brews on the Porch presents Michael Brews.
Dude. Craft Brews and Casual Conversations joined with me, actor in the new YouTube series Rhodes. We have Erica Deutschman. How's it going?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for hopping on the show. We were talking a little bit, it's Dudes with Brews, so a lot of times, we kind of gloss over the fact that I don't drink a beer, especially when I do interviews. But you're out in California, and there's a lot of good breweries out there. How's the scene going out there? Is it okay?
Well, yeah, they just opened everything as of today.
Oh, wow.
Like officially, everything was pretty much open, but now it's like it's official.
Mm-hmm.
They're even telling people to take their masks off, but I have a feeling that's going to take a minute.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's cool though. Yeah, I mean, anything to get back to somewhat of a normal routine or life, I'm all for it. But of course, doing
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I hear you. So you're in the this Popternative has a YouTube channel, YouTube series, Crossroads. I watched the first episode and it was really funny, and it's kind of this mockumentary type of format. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, Crossroads is about a young, struggling actress named Erica Rhodes who thinks she's actually famous and hires a camera crew to follow her around and do a reality show of her life. And chaos ensues. I like playing a delusional actress. It's very fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really nail that part, because I definitely could. It felt like I was watching something that somebody would potentially actually do. So what's it like to?
Well, I thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. How is it to tap into something like that? You're kind of full of yourself and you think you're worthy of having this documentary, and so you hired the crew yourself. Did you base it off of any other reality stars, or did you just kind of look into that kind of stuff?
I say it was kind of just Jesse and my idea, but my sister went to school with a guy who actually did hire a camera crew to follow him around. so definitely based on that. I think he was in fashion. But God, that made me laugh really hard. He was legitimately like, "This is my show." Yeah. Who are you? So that was definitely something we drew upon. And I don't even remember his name. I probably shouldn't say.
Yeah, that's all right.
But it's a mix between reality and fiction, mm-hmm. And it's so much fun to get carried away with that, because sometimes you want to act like that in real life, I think, and this allows you to get away with it.
Absolutely. And so the one thing in the episode that stuck out to me, probably because I was able to make a personal connection. So there's a part, and I don't want to give too much of the first episode, but where you're reading a letter, and it's from prisoners. So
you can relate.
I can somewhat. In college, when I originally went to college to just do radio broadcasting, and we had the college radio station, and our biggest fans were from the local prison that was probably about 10 miles away. And mm-hmm. They wrote in, obviously they can't call us. So they wrote letters into us and would request music and everything like that. And then there was one, a female DJ that was on the air, that she got some weird letters, and it was super uncomfortable. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I can relate to that a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's good you could censor it, they can't, no one can say anything crazy on the air because you've got the letters in front of you. So that's a good buffer. I don't remember how we came up with that joke, but I love that you lived it.
Yeah, I didn't get the super creepy aspect.
Fan.
Yeah, absolutely. So, being a part of the show and doing it and putting it in on the YouTube format, kind of a shorter format. What's that process like? Because it still requires an astronomical amount of work to even break it down even to, a certain duration that you're trying to hit, to try to pick and choose kind of what goes into it. How involved were you in that process? And is there anything that got taken out that you would like included?
That's a really good question. It's funny because the shorter things are usually the hardest to do because
Hmm.
you're attached to everything you've written. But then when you get other eyes on it, they're like, yeah, I think you could lose this or you could lose that. There was one scene that we might use somewhere along the line, I don't know, on social media or something, where she kind of reveals that she does not like Hank the dog. And she's like, I just don't get it. He's like this helpless hobo. Like what, like we have to feed him and walk him and bathe him. And then my boyfriend serves me my breakfast. And I'm like, oh, the eggs are a little runny. Do you mind doing them again? And it was that getting the axe was a little painful, but
That would have been good.
um well,
Yeah.
it'll resurface at some point.
Right.
But yeah, otherwise, I think the stuff that we do lose, we can kind of like repurpose maybe in later
Hmm.
episodes if we're still thinking about them.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I was pretty involved in the editing process. Our good friend Dan, who's an amazing cinematographer and editor, did it all for free,
Nice.
and was very generous with his time. And we kind of sat by and watched as he did it, and had a lot of input. So that was really cool to be involved in every step of the process.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia started as a YouTube series. There was just like little
Yeah,
skits, so you never really know what it could turn into. And um,
exactly.
with shows like The Office, that kind of style is really popular. And like I said, I really enjoyed that first episode. It was funny. It had everything, and you really got to understand what the character was about within the first couple minutes. So it was super enjoyable. What when you think of it going forward, do you kind of take it episode by episode, or is it we have 10 episodes that we have to do? This is kind of the story we want to hit, and kind of like
That's a good
improv or writing.
question. Yeah, well, there's definitely room to improvise
Hmm.
for every episode, and sometimes you find really good stuff. Sometimes we just go, never mind, that was terrible.
Right.
But as for like our plan, we do have a trajectory, but it's so hard when, we shot the second episode not too long ago, and it was like at the height of COVID, and it's
Right.
like 17 extra steps. So you're always kind of having to like pivot, which is fun if you're into that.
Hmm.
But it's good to have a plan, but it's also good to be flexible. So we live in that world.
Hmm. So do you have a kind of what's your background when it comes to acting? Did you start young? Is it something that you've always kind of wanted to do, or is it something you fell into?
Yeah, I always wanted to do it.
Right.
And I did it in school, and I did it at my arts camp, but then I only started doing it professionally when I was, I think, 18, because then I didn't have to bring a parent to an
Yeah.
audition. um, and yeah, then it was kind of just like, moving to wherever the work was. And I'm mostly in Toronto now. And yeah, it's been like a good journey. Like I haven't been too discouraged by the industry
Good.
altogether yet. So yeah, it's my first love. And Erica Rhodes is too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you hear so much stuff about Hollywood and all that kind of stuff, and of course people kind of face issues that normal people wouldn't want to face and everything. But you put
Mhm.
yourself in the right project with the right people, you're gonna really live it out and have a lot of fun. And even like doing something, uh,
Yeah.
and especially like with this the YouTube formats, the streaming format, like your possibilities are endless. And because just look at how huge YouTube has turned into, and it's this whole thing outside of being in an actual or a movie set. You can kind of go where you need to go, do what you need to do. And
Yeah.
I think it's pretty incredible, and I think it's awesome that you're doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, the possibilities are endless. And yeah, it definitely offers a lot of freedom because you don't really have anyone telling you what to do.
Right. Yeah. So when you like approach like the writing process and everything like that, is it I guess how was this idea developed? Was it just an idea that somebody had and they're like, well, this is what we want to do, or was it a collaborative effort?
Yeah, it was I can't decide if Jesse and I were like Jesse Camacho is my writing partner, by the
Okay.
way. I should probably
Yeah.
mention that. I keep saying Jesse and I'm like, wait, you don't know who that is. Yeah, my writing partner Jesse and I, we worked on a movie together when we were like 18. And we were like, hey, you're cool and good to work with. So we
Mm-hmm.
kind of just kept that going. And I can't decide whose idea was. I think maybe we came up with it together, or maybe it was him. We were at a bar, we were drinking, and yeah, he was just like, I think you'd be really good at doing this character. I think maybe it's because my alter ego when I drink is like a bit of an asshole. I don't
Yeah.
know. You'd have to ask him. But it kind of just stemmed from there, and we have some friends who were like, oh my god, this is such a funny concept, and they really pushed us to get it done and like get some stuff down on paper and actually shoot it. So we're
Mm-hmm.
really lucky that we had a lot of people around us in the industry and who know what they're talking about, who really encouraged us to do this.
Yeah, you said Jesse Camacho.
Hmm.
Oh, I've interviewed him. He was on the show.
There you go.
Yeah,
You know
he was a good dude. Yeah, he
him.
was in Lock and Key, and that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's what I didn't know that you were working with him on that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's like he wrote all of episode 6, I think, which hasn't come out yet. But yeah, he's like just as much part of this as I am.
That's sweet.
So he's great to work with. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
been a great journey.
yeah, me and my co-host who's not here, Rob, we always are talking about the writing process and especially when it comes to the, stand up writing jokes, and then we've had conversations about there's a play I want to write, but I don't know how to do it or even how to approach it, and it's so it's always interesting to see like how other people kind of come about it. But I think we have some good ideas, and maybe someday we'll actually follow through.
Yeah.
But
It's like it's having the idea is like the least of your worries.
right,
Like it's like one, you get an idea. Two, like someone has to encourage you to do it. Like I feel
hmm
like I can never do anything on my own.
yeah, same,
Like I need someone to hold my hand and be like, it's good, I promise we can do this.
yeah,
I think that once you have that sort of encouragement, at least for me, it makes the process all that much easier.
yeah.
So yeah, I've never, yeah, it's great to have a partner.
Yeah, I bet. And so like when from concept to filming to end product, how was that? Is it shaping to what you thought it was going to be? Is it a little different, or how are you feeling about it?
I think things are always different once you actually see it in the end. It's never exactly the way you imagine it, but sometimes it's better. We still have a lot to shoot, so I'll keep you posted.
Yeah,
You tell me.
yeah,
But yeah, we were so pleased with the first episode, and we were just like, where do we put this? Like, what do we do with this? And then Peter on PopternativeTV was like, we went to school with him,
okay,
and he was like, do you guys have any content for my channel? And we're like, as a matter of fact, we do. So we passed this off to him, and like it's just really cool to have a platform because
right,
we just didn't know what to do with it before. Yeah,
right,
so it's pretty exciing to like get it out there.
and to work with people that you actually like, like that you.
Yeah, I take that for granted.
Because I can tell you, I'm not going to say anything about my current employer, but I've been places where everybody sucks, and then
Yeah.
it's just miserable. No matter how fun the job may be, if you're working with a bunch of dicks, it's just not. It's not. You're not going to feel the passion behind it, and you're not gonna love it.
For sure. No, I say that lightly, but I don't think I've had enough experiences where I'm like, oh my God, if the people get me out of here. So I don't know, I have anything to compare it to really, but that's just because I'm lucky. I've just been very lucky.
Nah, you've worked hard to get where you are.
to surround myself with the right
Yeah.
people.
Hey.
Yeah. And you don't want to pick people to like really collaborate with long term who you
Hmm.
don't know well,
Yeah.
because sometimes that can take a turn. But yeah, fortunately, I happen to know all of my collaborators quite well.
So approaching, getting into acting, professionally when you were 18. What was your first gig? What was that experience?
Well, officially, like on the record, well, not really on the record. I don't know what happened to it, but it was to get my like union membership,
Sure.
there was those movie theater seats that move?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like the promotional video for that.
Oh,
Like
that's
that was my
sweet.
first gig ever. They were like, we need her. They had to like petition the union. I don't know what it was. I don't know even I didn't audition. I don't know how they found me. But that was my first real gig.
That's
But
awesome.
then my first TV show was on Blue Mountain State.
Oh, really?
Um yeah, which ended up being like this, cult
Yeah.
like favorite. It's funny, like I'll still like that was like 2010, and people will still be like, "Oh my God, were you on Blue Mountain State?" Yeah, it was. I played a girl who was poisoned by an edible condom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in season two, I was in the
Interesting.
same episode with Chuck Liddell. It was like a
Okay.
figment of the guy's imagination. It was very amusing.
That's sweet. I watched
Yeah.
Blue Mountain State a little bit. I think it was on Netflix, but then it got taken off, and then
Oh,
I was late to the
now who
game.
knows where? I think a lot of people were. I think a lot of like I had family members who like 5 years later were like, "Are you on Blue Mountain State?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're welcome to the party." I think it was season two.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome. So how was
yeah,
like growing up with it
yeah,
with your family? Have they always been supportive of it, or are they ever resistant?
yeah. They know. Well, they said go to school, so I went to
Oh, cool.
school. I did communications, which introduced me to a lot of people
Oh,
who
for
ended
sure.
up making movies, so that worked out well. But yeah, I did that. So I had my communications degree. But no, for the most part, they've always been really supportive. I think they'd rather I be happy
Yeah.
than you know doing anything I don't want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have that support system. I just, there's always the story where it's just like dad just sits you down and you don't really want to do this, kid, or something like that, and then
No, I definitely never had that with my dad because he's more of an artistic type as
nice.
well. So he designs cars. So
Oh, that's
he
crazy.
can't say anything to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's killer.
My mom, on the other hand, was a lawyer, so
Oh, wow.
she has more of a leg to stand on. Yeah.
Yeah, my I have a young daughter. She's 12, and she went to one of those like workshop, like it's not like a quote unquote Disney workshop, but it's where a lot of the Disney kids start out, and it was so much like weird information to take in, and to kind of look at it, and to especially like with younger kids and the acting thing, and it was kind of a she ended up not doing it because I said, well, why don't you do something more locally first, see if you like it before we invest this money. This opportunity really isn't going away no matter how much they say it might be. Like I know this thing is
Mhm.
here in the bigger city every couple of years. So like it's I don't know if I was hopefully I was a good enough support system where I was just like, hey, let's do some community theater, let's do some school plays, and dive
Yeah,
into
build
it.
that resume.
Yeah, yeah, and before
Yeah.
before what if it turns out to be something you don't like? And yeah, she was pretty upset with me, but hopefully I did the right thing.
How long ago was this?
It was, I mean, it was earlier this year. Um,
If it makes you feel any better, I think we all went to one of those Disney workshops.
yeah.
They're like trying to get you to pay money to
Oh
get like
yeah,
the headshots. Yeah. I think that's a pretty common
yeah.
thing. But no, you know what? If she really loves it anyway, no matter what,
Hmm. Yeah.
you guys
Well,
could do a web series together.
she's been on the podcast a little bit. We do have an idea for the like a cooking show because she really likes to cook, and I mean
Oh, jack of all trades.
oh yeah, she's really good at baking for a 12-year-old kid. She makes some awesome stuff, and um, One of my
I'm sure she cooks better than me. Yeah.
yeah, one of my ideas was like, it'd be called a cuss word kitchen because she'd be cooking and I'd be swearing, but I don't know how good that would be around other little kids.
Who's the audience?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the matter of determining that.
What's the demographic?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be a little bit of both. Who hasn't
Or
heard
you
the?
kind of cut out there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah, my bad. Internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always exciting to brainstorm good ideas and potentially make it out there. I just got to do it. Like I said, it's a matter of following through and writing the idea down and actually doing it.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, right? Like from one day to the next, if you just do it, you never know. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hate to cut this interview a little short, but my internet seems to be cutting out a little bit and not doing too well. I don't know why. It says my internet connection is unstable. So before.
Oh no.
Yeah, I swear I paid the bill. I did, but let's do some plugs here. Crossroads can be seen on YouTube, and if you have anything else going on you want to promote, talk about, let's hear it.
Well, honestly, I'm kind of just here for Crossroads. I've been doing some writing, but I don't think I'm allowed to talk about
Okay,
that
that's fine.
So my lips are sealed, but stay tuned. It's all very exciting.
Yeah, and they can find you on.
Definitely go watch Crossroads.
Yeah,
PopternativeTV.
And they can
watch
find you
it,
on.
and we'll make more. I promise.
They can get you on Instagram and Twitter and all that.
Yeah, if you like me, then you can follow Erica Deutschman at Erica Deutschman on Instagram. If you like the character more, you can follow her at Erica_Rhodes_Crossroads.
Awesome.
Spelled Rhodes.
Well, I recommend that everybody they follow both Erica Deutschman and Erica
Why not?
Rhodes. Yeah.
Why not?
So
you get both sides of me.
Absolutely. Well, Erica, thanks so much for hopping on and being on the show, and we wish you continued success in your journey of life.
Thank you so much for having me, and you as well.
Pew pew audio. Goodbye, everyone.